So anytime there is questions, unrest, I wouldn't say the word unrest because this isn't really justified yet, but there's uncertainty out there in the marketplace as we see these things start to bounce, and the markets typically don't like that. After the US election, which was probably the biggest event to happen since we talked last, there was a bit of a rally in the stock market, and now what we're seeing is...
Opposed to the crash that was happening during the election.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been really, really volatile. One of the things we are seeing with our price of commodities and everything else is, especially oil, is starting to take a bit of a dip right now. The supply is still really high. The production is still really high, but this will take some time to have an impact on the housing market. And what impact that is, we don't know. Kirsten and I had an opportunity to go to a Calgary economic event. And one of the things they did say was that labor has probably not hit the bottom yet. We should see another dip in labor. However, they did say that there's a lot of great things that Calgary has going for it. Number one, they do expect oil prices to stabilize. They expect it to stay fairly close to $45, $50 a barrel for 2017, and then slowly rise up. But as soon as the price hits about $50, there's a bunch of shale inventory in the US that can come back on the market. And the other piece that I just want to talk about really quickly is that Calgary's in this unique position where all of our office space is on sale right now.
Yeah.
And Calgary Economic Development has done a great job of beginning to entice new players to come into the marketplace. De Beers is coming in next year, the diamond people. We have IKEA, who's expanding in Calgary.
It's my favorite. Loblaws.
Loblaws
Great deli.
is coming in and doing a bunch more expansion in Calgary as well.
But Calgary Economic Development, they were incredibly impressive. I mean, this is a group that works for the city, by the city, and their entire job is to basically headhunt corporations, leaders in the arts, technology, fund innovation, make sure that any really cool technologies that's looking for a place to have a startup is doing it here. And they're doing a really good job. One of the things that they mentioned is, they started the year off with, only a couple files. And by the end of it, they had a ton of active case files of really fantastic companies looking to come here. And again, most educated workplace in the world.
Huge untapped labor force right now.
Totally, which is fantastic. And again, the office vacancy is really great as well. So it's kind of prime time. Like, they were very optimistic. They loved the opportunity that we had to set ourselves up for the next 5 years based on some unfortunate but unique opportunities that our marketplace is giving us right now.
Yeah, and just before we jump in, just remember that the price of oil being at $110 a barrel obviously was probably a little bit more than it should have been. So now as we settle in here, Calgary office space downtown, which was unaffordable, is now becoming affordable to a lot more people, which is outstanding for businesses. So let's look at the numbers. We're going to show you a price of oil slide here that is actually from last week, Thursday, and things have changed since then. So the correct price of oil today is $42.87, down from $44.10. I guess a couple weeks ago there, or last week. The Canadian dollar is also down a bit from there to 73.68. So that slide needs to be updated. But this morning, obviously, we had to pull these with the holiday on Friday. We pulled these beforehand. So,
number of listings: Metro Calgary right now sitting at 5,521 versus 5,562 last week, and Red Deer is at 540 listings versus 556.
Week over week, we've seen almost a flat change in the marketplace, not much happening. As for Calgary months of inventory, we're looking at 3.42 months, down ever so slightly or up as the case may be. Single family homes, seller's market, believe it or not. So still detached homes are moving very, very quickly, 2.48 months of inventory. Condos dragging things down, but flat week over week. And you can see the changes in these numbers are almost marginal, trivial, as the case may be. So condos sitting at 5.61 months of inventory.
As far as surrounding area goes, it's pretty much the same story. Looking at the numbers on the screen there, very, very stable. Okotoks 4.97 to 4.89, Cochrane 5.94 versus 5.09, Sundre 17.67 over 17.33, Red Deer 4.29 over 4.15, Airdrie 3.73 over 3.23, and Strathmore 9.85 over 8.25. So this is probably the last year the least amount of movement we've seen in inventory.
Yeah, and
week over week.
And it's just going a little bit red there. Obviously, seasonal slowdowns is something that we're seeing now moving into the the later months, but the weather has been incredible. Like, we're talking about the
know.
softest landing for winter we've had yet. That's your market.